Assume identity is a beneficial feature for admins who need to work through the system as another user. Anyone who accesses the MLS software needs their own user ID and password, but some members, mostly admins for agents and brokers, will need to be able to add or edit a listing on behalf of an agent, set up a contact for an agent, or even print a listing or send an email as an agent. It's also great if you need someone to cover for you and have access to your account for only a limited amount of time. All of that and more can be accomplished with Assume Identity. There are two parts to Assume Identity. First, we'll cover how to assume an identity, and then we'll cover how to grant permission for someone to assume your identity. The user will log in at myprimemls.com with their own credentials and then access Paragon. From there, head to the top right corner of the system and click on your name. Choose Assume Identity. This provides a pop-up of everyone who has granted you permission to assume their identity. Brokers, office admins, and head admins will have access to everyone in the office automatically. Head brokers and head admins of the main office will have access to assume the identity of everyone in the firm automatically. If the name you need to assume is not listed, you'll need to be granted permission by that user to assume their identity. That's covered in the second half of this tutorial. Select the name and then tap Assume, then OK, noting that any unsaved changes in your account will not be saved. Paragon will refresh and you'll now be moving through the system as that person. Keep track of what account you're in by the name in the top right corner. Additionally, a good practice is to customize your menu theme in Preferences to something unique as a reminder for yourself when you don't see that unique theme, then you're not in your own account. To assume another identity or return to your own account, tap the name in the top right corner. Choose Assume Identity and tap the name to choose another account, or click the link in the message at the top to return to your own account. Once again, you'll be reminded that any unsaved changes will be lost. When you have assumed an identity, you have the same permissions as that user. You can add and edit their listings. You'll be able to send emails and it will send as the person you've assumed. You can create saved searches for them and set up contacts with the Collab Center for the user as well. Also note that when you've assumed an identity, you're still technically logged in as a user to your own account. That means you will not prevent the actual user from logging into their own account. Now let's talk about how to grant someone permission to assume your identity. To do this, go to the Preferences menu and choose User. Choose Assume Identity, then tap Add and a list of the names in your office will appear. Check as many names as you want and click Save. That's it. Now they'll be able to select your name when they assume an identity. At any time, you can remove someone from access to your account. Check the name from the list and then click Delete. Immediately, they will no longer have access. Keep in mind that if an agent or admin leaves your office, you do not need to remove their Assume Identity access as that happens automatically. Make it easy on your admins and grant them permission to assume your identity so they can move through the system completing tasks on your behalf. Thanks for watching. For more tutorials, please visit the Prime MLS Help Desk.